Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness showcased an entirely new set of spells, powers, and relics from across the multiverse. We saw a whole lot more of the Darkhold, we also saw its antithesis, the Book of Vishanti, and more spells than I could count. We will be covering a lot of these items in due time, but today we want to discuss one ability, or I guess you could call it a spell, that seemed to be on everybody's mind, because it was on his forehead. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here. Just what exactly was the third eye that was visible within the film on Doctor Strange's forehead? At first, we will discuss the MCU version of this ocular anomaly along with our theories on why it exists, and then we'll discuss the comic book version of the third eye. The third eye of Doctor Strange was first shown in the trailers, but during the film we see it being used by a corrupted version of Strange, who had destroyed an entire reality by causing an event known as an incursion. We will have a video later describing incursions as they exist within the comics and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but for now just know that they are absolutely capable of ruining your weekend. This version of Strange became corrupted by the Darkhold, and while using it, a third eye manifested itself on Strange's forehead. Why? Well, it's not quite clear. It seems to be indicative within the Marvel Cinematic Universe of Stephen's capacity to use dark and forbidden magics. We know that there are a number of texts that are reserved only for the Sorcerer Supreme. These included books allowing the Ancient One to channel the Dark Dimension through herself or himself, and it's easy to see why the Darkhold would be another text that an average magician or witch would not want to tangle with. The third eye appears to be a byproduct of using those spells. If you recall in the film, Stephen had to use the Darkhold to dreamwalk into the corpse of Defender Strange, which absolutely qualifies as dark magic. We also know the Darkhold can permanently corrupt those who use it. The third eye appears to be something that manifested itself and stays with Stephen even after he had abandoned the Darkhold's magical influence. However, this is all speculation. Eventually I'm sure we'll get more information from guidebooks or director's commentary, but as for right now, it's very speculatory, but we will make an MCU lore entry when that information comes out and is more readily available. In terms of comic book accuracy, Doctor Strange's eye is a manifestation of the Eye of Agamotto. First shown in the MCU as an amulet that housed the Time Stone, the Eye of Agamotto is one of Doctor Strange's most often used tools, but it also has the capacity to create a third eye on his forehead, which it frequently does. The Eye of Agamotto is not actually the necklace you see him wearing traditionally. That necklace is called the Amulet of Agamotto. The Eye of Agamotto is the mystical artifact that resides within it. It's unknown how the eye was created or if it simply always existed. It was originally found and housed in the amulet by Agamotto, one of the three insanely powerful magical beings who make up a collective group called the Vishanti. The Vishanti, also known as those who sit above, are so insanely powerful that even absolute beings of the cosmos like Eternity were in awe of their capabilities. The Eye of Agamotto was first shown in Strange Tales 115, but Doctor Strange was not given the amulet and the eye until after he had proved his worthiness to the Ancient One by defeating Dormammu in Strange Tales 127. The third eye, when used, oftentimes appears as a bright, blinding light. First and foremost, the artifact can see through complex illusions and spells. Oftentimes the clarity given to Strange by the third eye is what allows him to identify the spell being used against him or if somebody's disguised. However, in the comics, this artifact can only be used by a sorcerer who has not been corrupted by dark magic. For example, following the events of Doctor Strange Volume 2, Earth's defenses against dark magic are at an all-time low, and Strange ends up aligning himself with a master of dark magic named Kalu. The continued use of this corruption in the form of black magic causes Stephen to be unable to use the artifact, and for a period of time, Doctor Strange entrusts its care to Rintra, an extraterrestrial magical mage that resembles a minotaur. We will have a complete history video for him shortly as well. The eye can also help Doctor Strange see into a person's soul. Strange can tell if somebody's lying to him or being genuinely untruthful. He can also tell if the person is virtuous, brave, or cowardly, and he can use the eye to probe other beings' minds or even shield his own from physical or mental attacks. So yeah, having a third eye is pretty intense. We don't know truly how this third eye will manifest itself within the Marvel Universe, and I am hoping that it's not a sign of further corruption, because I think that would be a pretty easy trope to fall into, especially when the comics have clearly established that the Eye of Agamotto is a good thing and a powerful tool for good. I would hate to see it reduced to evil thing living inside of Strange goes boo occasionally, you know? Thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot, and if you did, consider liking and subscribing and all those other things that YouTubers ask you to do. This has been Nick with Key Issues. Thank you again, and remember the motto, the third eye over everything.